Have you ever asked yourself, who am I really serving? Or maybe in the quiet moments of your pain, you've wondered if God is really with you. When the storms of life rage and all that once made sense begins to crumble, there's a name that echoes through eternity with power, with certainty, and with unshakable authority. I am who I am. Yes, that is the voice that thundered from the burning bush in Exodus 3 verse 14. When Moses stood in awe and fear, trembling before a fire that burned but did not consume, he heard God speak a name that changed everything. A name that shook the core of human identity and human limitation. A name that held within it all time, all reality, all existence. I am. Let that sink in. I am who I am. Not I was. Not I will be. But I am. The eternal present. The God who never sleeps nor slumbers. The one who existed before the foundations of the world. The one who walks into your yesterday to redeem it, stands in your today to empower you, and prepares your tomorrow with divine strategy. That is the one who spoke to Moses. And he is still speaking to you right now. So many of us are walking through life with chains of doubt. Chains of fear. Chains of identity crises. We're asking, God, are you really there? Are you really able? Do you see me? And today, God is responding with the same words he gave to Moses, I am. You see, Moses was not qualified. He was not eloquent. He was not brave. He was not the likely choice. But God didn't need a perfect man. He needed a man who would say yes. And when Moses asked, what should I say to them if they ask me who sent me? God didn't give a long explanation. He didn't try to prove himself with fancy titles or credentials. He simply said, tell them I am has sent you. That's powerful. Because in that moment, God wasn't just revealing his name. He was revealing his nature. I am means, I am everything you'll ever need. Are you hungry? He says, I am the bread of life. Are you lost? He says, I am the way. Are you broken? I am the healer. Are you afraid? I am your peace. Are you guilty? I am your righteousness. Are you weak? I am your strength. Are you drowning in sorrow? I am your comforter. He doesn't become what you need, he already is. This is the God who stands outside of time but chooses to enter your timeline. This is the God who watched you cry last night and who's already holding the answer to your prayer before the words even leave your lips. This is the God who doesn't need to explain himself to anyone, yet chose to reveal himself to you. And when he says I am, he's also saying, you are not alone. In the moments when life doesn't make sense, when the answers don't come, when you feel stuck between Egypt and the promise, he whispers again, I am. I am the God who saw you when no one else saw you. I am the God who heard your silent prayers. I am the God who walked with you through the fire, who held you in the storm. I am the God who didn't give up on you when you gave up on yourself. Think about that. When people define you by your past, God defines you by his name. When your mistakes scream louder than your faith, God's mercy speaks louder still. When the devil reminds you of your failures, God reminds you that I am your Redeemer. There's no one else like him. No one as consistent. No one is sovereign. No one is near. No one is mighty. And yet, no one is loving. When Moses stood before Pharaoh, he wasn't standing in his own authority. He was standing under the banner of I Am. And friend, that's the same name written over your life today. You are not walking alone. You are not praying in vain. You are not hoping in the dark. You are walking with the one who said, I am who I am. When the bills are piling up and the money isn't adding up, remember, I am your provider. When your health fails and doctors have no answer, I am your healer. When relationships fall apart and hearts are shattered, I am your restorer. When anxiety grips you and depression clouds your mind, I am your peace. He doesn't outsource your miracle. He is your miracle. He doesn't delegate your deliverance. He is your deliverer. He doesn't send someone else to fight your battles. He stands in the fire with you. This isn't mythology. This isn't fiction. This isn't a feel-good message. This is truth. This is God's Word. This is the foundation of our faith. And here's the beautiful part. When you don't know who you are, God knows exactly who He is. We live in a world obsessed with self-identity. People are asking, who am I? But God is asking, do you know who I am? Because if you know who He is, you'll discover who you are. The world may call you rejected, but He calls you redeemed. The world may say you're broken, but He says, I am your potter. The world may call you a failure, but He says, I am your victory. When everything else shifts, when the ground beneath you shakes, when friends betray you, when your own heart deceives you, He remains. Unchanging, eternal, steady, sovereign. I am who I am. Not limited by your circumstances. Not defined by your past. Not surprised by your future. He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God who split the sea. The God who fed His people in the wilderness. The God who shut the mouths of lions. The God who turned a shepherd boy into a king. The God who walked on water. The God who conquered the grave. The God who sent His Son to die for you. That God, He says, I am. And He is still speaking today. He's speaking into your fear, I am with you. He's speaking into your calling, I am enough. He's speaking into your pain, I am your healer. He's speaking into your future, I am the Alpha and the Omega. Don't let your problems speak louder than your God. Don't let your failures define your faith. Don't let your wilderness rob you of His promise. Because if He said, I am who I am, then you can say, I am who He says I am. You are chosen. You are loved. You are redeemed. You are victorious. You are never alone. Every demon trembles at His name. Every sickness bows. Every mountain moves. Every storm stills. Because I Am has spoken. And when I Am is in your life, no power of hell can stand against you. So, the next time you face the fire, the storm, the darkness, don't look for who you are. Look for who He is. And when you find Him, you'll find the strength to rise again. Because He is I Am. And that changes everything.